Hello and welcome to our webinar. My name is Paul Montague and I am Edmonton International's Digital Learning and Curriculum Manager. I can see we've got a mixture of experienced Education City users and new schools on the call today, and I'm sure all of you will be able to take something new away that you can embed into your practice. Education City is a cross-curricular resource for 3 to 11-year-olds that focuses on supporting the UK curriculum. It is used in over 80 countries around the world, and outside of the UK the greatest concentration of schools is in the UAE. I am now delighted to introduce Naveed Iqbal. He's the Chief Executive Officer from GEMS Metropole in Dubai. Naveed will be discussing how his school has used Education City both before the lockdown and during their distance learning. He will also discuss how they plan to use it in the future.
Hello everyone, my name is Naveed Iqbal and I'm the Principal and CEO of GEMS Metropole School, which is a school here in Dubai. We have just less than 3,000 students ranging from foundation stage 1 all the way through to year 13, so we are an all-through school. I'd like to thank Edmentum for allowing me the opportunity to share our story, our case study with you in terms of how we have used Education City before the pandemic, during, and how we intend to use it after. And in order to do this, I would like to take around 10 to 12 minutes of your time to share my presentation with you based on what parents have said, students have said, teachers have said in terms of using Education City. So allow me to share my screen with you. Now, we have used Education City for a number of years, and before the lockdown, I'm sure similar to many other schools, we used it for small group work and challenge activities and lessons. We allocated time every week for students to engage in Education City on independent activities. So whilst teachers were focusing on particular year groups or focus groups in the years, they were able to work independently to reinforce their learning or deepen their understanding on a particular part of the curriculum and subject knowledge. One thing that was really useful for us in terms of helping students prepare for the GL assessments or the SATs assessments, which are done by the GLs in the UAE in English, Math and Science in Dubai or this part of the world, as well as many other parts of the world. Education City was really good to help students practice very similar curriculum-related types of questions, as there's a lot of overlap since both of them are designed around the English national curriculum. And the same we found for our SATs. When they use Education Cities, those students perform better in GL assessments and SATs. Support teachers were able to use Education City for planning, particularly for mathematics, because there are some great worksheets that are available that definitely helped as a starting point to bridge the gap wherever necessary. Another way we used it, and again, many schools will do this, is for homework. Using it as a weekly homework tool throughout our primary school for a range of subjects. It fits perfectly within the curriculum, which allowed teachers time to be able to see who is doing the work, who has not done their work, how can we support them, and it reduced a lot of teacher workload in terms of the analytics. During the remote learning, as a school, we use the word virtual metropole because it was important to maintain those routines for our students, so we didn't try to water down much of the curriculum. However, Education City did play a key role in terms of supporting with delivery of learning at home. One of the ways it did do this is we use, in school we have synchronous and asynchronous approach to learning. So during the synchronous time, the teachers are available and delivering learning live. In the afternoon, to recap topics, we use Education City as an asynchronous approach to reinforce subject knowledge during lesson time live teaching in maths and science. Learn Screen was really good for flipped learning, particularly in science. So before the lesson takes place, we use Learn Screen so that they understand the new topic and then they come to their learning in live teaching, but teachers can ask them questions and students already have some understanding of the new knowledge and the skills that they're picking up. And we're also able to personalize the tasks based on the next steps, helping to differentiate online. Support for parents. Now, we always use the term parents are our partners, and it's important, and parents play far more of a role at home, since our students, young people are at home. So it's important to enable the parents to be able to support children. So one of the things this did is to make it easy for parents to motivate the students because of the gamification aspect of Education City. Another key point before I go on was to do with the idea that when parents teach at home now, what it does is they may teach based on their personal school experience or their subject knowledge. And that might not go in accordance. So let's just take mathematics as an example. The school calculation policy may dictate or warrant maths being taught in a particular method. The parents' knowledge may be different to that and may teach it differently. Education City helps to remove that and ensures consistency, which the delivery is in accordance with the curriculum expectations. And that was really important to parents. It made it easier for them. Ease of access is another area because it's really, really easy to use, and it's a really safe learning platform with password protected. Parents can see quite easily at home from an analytics point of view of what's being taught to their children, and personalized learning met the parent expectations according to them when we surveyed them. Progress and attainment, it does help so much with this because you have various features. For example, Play Live, which boosts progress in mental mathematics and core skills at home. Success Tracker, which helps with the gap analysis for teachers to see which areas the students are falling behind in, and we can help them with the personalizing the task, supporting them with their particular next steps. There's examples, many examples in school, but for the purpose of this case study, I'd like to go into a year one example, which is a maths lesson. And they're actually doing extra tasks in this class to challenge the students further. This was around arithmetic addition, obviously model subtraction facts, quick fire questions were there. They shared the education video during the lesson. This teacher did. She supported the students to complete the task independently. Everything we do is on Microsoft Teams. And then there was another element, which is Play Live against each other in class, which is where Education City came into it. So moving on to the next slide, the teacher will just describe how the Play Live worked and how the students pitted against each other to bring in the gamification aspect, the engagement, and to reinforce the skills that they learned and the knowledge that they picked up in this particular lesson.
I found some really good challenges. So we're going to go into subjects. We're going to choose Maths, Year 1. And then we're going to go to Play Live. And here is some addition, some division, some multiplication and subtraction challenges. And what you can do is you can play against each other and see who gets the highest score. So when we click on them, we're going to go play. And then it will give you a list. Now, we don't want anyone, we want school. So at the moment, Beirut is in first place. And we want to see if we can beat Beirut. So we're going to go in next. And then you're going to choose your challenge person. So I love giraffe, so I'm going to go for a giraffe. Jeffrey the giraffe. Done. And then we're just going to click on school. 1, enter, 2 plus 2, 4, enter. Okay, so you've got to keep going, and it's 60 seconds, so your timer is up here. Okay, keep going until you finish.
Okay, so there you have it in terms of a particular example in a class of how we could use Education City. So we also asked our teachers what they think about Education City, and here's some examples. So Ms. Hallen in Year 6 mentions that it's a real time saver when it comes to homework and marking, and she can track the Year 6 progress easily. Ms. Sabrine mentioned that the tasks help both EAL and SEND children. It was useful for teachers in terms of differentiation. We also asked students, and Muhammad from Year 5 mentioned that they love games, especially the live challenges when he can compete against his friends. And Sarah in Year 3 mentioned that she likes the mini clips that explain the learning. So there you have it. That just gives you some information in terms of how we've used Education City in the past and during this pandemic, and we aim to use it in the future as well. So one of the ways that the teachers have mentioned they'd like to use it, we have differentiated tasks that we call, for example, bronze, silver, gold, platinum. You could have the chili pepper or whatever else. And the idea really is for students to be able to self-assess where they are at, and then go on to Education City and choose a level of difficulty according to their task. So whether it be a gold or a platinum, to deepen their understanding and knowledge. But the idea is that they self-regulate and they do this independently when they've completed their working lessons. And for those students who, for example, are struggling with a particular problem and they need more support with it, let's just take multiplication as an example, they are able to independently, rather than put their hand up and say, Miss, I'm not understanding, or Sir, I don't understand this, go on to Education City, find the similar type of problem in multiplication, teach themselves using the videos or the worksheets that are available for those few minutes, and then go back to the problem in the books, for example. This level of metacognition is really, really important in lessons, and that is where we aim to take Education City further from a differentiation point of view, not according to the teacher, but according to the learner himself or herself. Thank you very much for listening to our case study. Again, this may benefit you. You may be doing something far greater, and we would love to learn from you as well. But from GEMS Metropole, this is what we're doing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Naveed, for your brilliant presentation. I was particularly interested to hear your plans for the future and how it will support the development of metacognition skills with your students. I'd like to thank everybody for watching and listening. If you would like to find out more, then please feel free to contact me on paul.montague@edmonton.com. Thank you.